It works now. Okay, we've had a few more people straggling in, so I think we have pretty much everyone here now to start the parent orientation before the scrub graduation. I know they're probably really excited to see all of you and possibly go home for the weekend if you're taking them with you. So the first thing, I met all of you when you checked in. My name is Dallas Smith. I'm the parent coordinator. I work directly in the military department with Major Mayer and the Deputy Commandant, Major Van Horn, and then Major Wearsma, who's over our events and activities, and then all the TAC officers. So anytime you need me and you can't get in touch with your son's TAC officer, you can call me. I pretty much see them every day. I'll tell them to call because I know pretty much everything that's going on down there. I'm also in charge of the canteen, and if you ask the boys on campus what I do here, they will say I am the lady over the canteen. I don't do anything else but that. And there's my contact information. That is my work cell phone number, and you can call that number anytime. I think I've spoken to a lot of you, whether it be through text, phone call, email, and I have included that information, and I save all of your numbers. That way I know who you are. I get a lot of robocallers, and they're really wanting to extend my car's warranty, but I haven't let them yet. So feel free to email me, call me anytime you need to. If I don't answer the phone, leave me a voicemail, shoot me a text message, and I'll call you back as soon as I can. I am running around a lot, so I don't always hear my phone ring. The TAC officers, so your son or your nephew, your grandson, whoever, your cadet is divided into companies. We have Echo Company, which is our 6th through 8th grade cadets. We have Charlie Company, 9th through 10th grade. And then Bravo is 11th and 12th grade. For Echo, we have Staff Sergeant Williams. And Charlie, we have Sergeant Fuller. And then Bravo, we have Sergeant Long. And they should have sent you a welcome letter when y'all enrolled here or when they came on campus with all of their contact information, what they do. Basically, they serve as a mentor for the cadets after school. So when the cadets are out of school, the military department is in charge of the boys, and so the TAC officers are the mentors for them. They make sure they're doing their work, doing their homework, staying in line, cleaning their rooms, this, that, and the other. But anytime you have a question about punishment, how they're doing in cadet life, you can call them and they'll be able to guide you on how they're doing. They're really good about talking on the phone. I know they have phone calls every night and they're always on the phone. So just reach out to them. They're more than welcome to help you know what's going on here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is leaves. So we have several different leave periods here. This could be day passes. A day pass is 1 day. You can take them out and take them into the area. This is not an overnight pass, so they are expected to come back to campus. For a day pass, they leave in their travel uniform and they return in their travel uniform. So if it's an open weekend and you don't want to take him for the whole weekend, but you want to come up on a Saturday and maybe take him out to dinner, whatever, go into the area. Auburn's right down the road. You can just email me, say you'd like to take him. I'll get it approved by the commandant and let you know, hey, it's okay. You can take him off campus for the day. We also have vacation leave. This is the mandatory leaves that we have on campus. They're noted on the academic calendar. For vacation leaves, the school is closed and all of the cadets must leave campus. So those are typically Thanksgiving is the major leave, Christmas, spring break, and then, of course, summer vacation. We do offer airport transportation for families that are far away, and I'm going to touch on how airport transportation works in just a little bit, but that is an option. We have optional leave. These kind of leaves fall on a 4-day weekend. So we have one coming up in February. It's actually February 18th through the 21st. I think that's Columbus Day. President's Day, not Columbus Day. And then we have one April 15th through the 18th, and that is the Easter weekend. So they will actually, for this, they will get out. They won't have school on the Friday. They can leave after school on Thursday, and they won't have to return until Monday. So, and they don't have to leave. That's why it's optional. The school will be open. They can stay on campus if you need them to. We have med leave. So if your cadet is sick or has a doctor's appointment or a surgery or anything like that, and they need to recover at home, they are able to do that. So let's say you take your cadet home this weekend, he gets sick, and you don't want to bring him back. Well, if he gets sick, please keep him at home if he's showing kind of symptoms of sickness. And email me and let me know, hey, he's sick, he has a doctor's appointment, he has this procedure, whatever it may be, and he will be allowed to stay at home and recover just so he probably more comfortable at home anyways, whatever it may be. But they are allowed to be off campus for medical purposes. You just need to let me know, and then I will let the appropriate people know. We have closed weekends. Your scrub has been experiencing closed weekends for the past 2 weeks, so they have gotten a great taste of what those are. For closed weekends, all cadets must remain on campus. We have different things that we require of them, whether it be a parade or they do inspection, and then we've really been focusing on having more activities on closed weekends. That's what, I don't know if you've met Major Wearsma, but he has been in charge in planning all of these different activities. He's taken them on several hikes. We've gone bowling. We've done paintball, airsoft. So on closed weekends, we really try and have something fun for them to do in addition to whatever military obligation they may have. And like I said, that could mean there's a parade or an inspection, something like that, but all cadets have to remain on campus for closed weekend. Now, if there is a death in the family, we can work with you on closed weekends, but only if it's an urgent request. If you just want to take little Johnny home for the weekend because it's the weekend, we ask that he do stay here. But if it is like a special request, death in the family, anything like that, we can work with you on that. And then we have open weekends, and that's what this weekend is. So for closed weekends, we have one a month, and then every other weekend is open. On open weekends, your cadet has to have above a 70 in all of his classes. He has to have no punishment orders in the military department. Overall, he just has to be in good standing with the academy. I get a below 70 list multiple times a week. And at the start of every open weekend, I send an email out on Monday saying, hey, it's an open weekend. And I try and let you know if your cadet will be eligible or not. This weekend, all of them are eligible. And if they aren't eligible, they have to stay here because obviously that's the point. If they're doing punishment, they're expected to walk their tours on the weekend. They're expected to, it's a goal for them to be able to leave the next open weekend and encourage them, hey, you do this and you act right, you will get to leave the next time. And for those that do stay on campus, because we do have kids that live far away, we still do activities on open weekends too. I think this weekend they're doing gym games and ultimate frisbee. And I know in the future they're planning a trip to Horseshoe Bend to go and see like the battlefield. And they described it to me as an immersive historical experience. So it should be fun, but we try and have something for them to do, keep them engaged, keep them entertained. And so we've really worked on having activities this year. For checkout, so on open weekends, you will check out with me in the military department. Checkout begins at 3:30 p.m. after school, unless I say otherwise. So today, obviously, it begins after the scrub graduation. And just to warn you, the boys are very good about telling you that checkout doesn't start at 3:30 p.m., that, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, it starts at 9 a.m. and we don't have school. If they're telling you that and you haven't received an email from me, it's probably not true. So just note that they will try and pull that one over on you, but you can always check with me and confirm. But for the most part, if I don't say otherwise, it's at 3:30 after school. And when they check out, they'll leave school. If they're not in their travel uniform, they'll go change into their travel uniform, and then they'll go and check out with their TAC, get their phone, and whatever. And then they'll meet you outside, and you or the person that is checking them out and the cadet have to come and check out with me in the military department. Typically, I'm sitting right outside under the awning, but it's kind of cold today, so I'll probably be sitting inside. And what we do there, I check him off of our list for accountability purposes so we can know who's on campus, who's not, how many we have on campus for like food numbers and stuff like that. And then if he needs his debit card, he can get that. And then if he has medications, he'll get those from the nurse. And then for return on open weekends, once again, unless otherwise stated, it's 5 p.m. on Sundays. They need to return by 5 p.m. And when they get back, they will get their bags checked and then just go back to life here. And once again, they will tell you. So you heard it here first. Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, we don't have school on Monday. We don't have to be back. Or we don't have to be back by 5 p.m. Once again, unless you haven't received an email from me, they will have to be back by 5. And I try and let you know if it changes or anything like that. If you're coming back on a Sunday and the weather's bad, please email me and let me know, or call me, and I can let everyone know, hey, he's going to be returning late. Or if it's too dangerous for you to drive, don't risk it and drive. We will accept coming back Monday, but we want y'all to be safe. We want them to be safe. But otherwise, 5 p.m. on Sunday, so have them all back by 5 p.m. For transportation, so like I mentioned earlier, we do have transportation to the Atlanta airport. So I know some of you are from out of state or whatever, and we will drive your cadet to the airport for Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, spring break, end of the school year, start of the school year, and we're doing it for the Easter break this year. For that, you are required to make the flight arrangements. When you make those flight arrangements, you send them to me, and I put them on a shuttle. We do have certain guidelines for flight times. For departures, those flights need to be scheduled after 2 p.m. It just allows us some time to get the boys up, get them ready, and get on the road. The Atlanta airport is only around an hour and a half, 2 hours, but we also have to take traffic into consideration and all of that, and sometimes Atlanta traffic can be terrible. And then for return flights, the return flights need to be scheduled before 4 p.m. And once again, that allows us time to get our shuttle up there and then get them all back to campus. I can work with you on flights. I have done it, especially over Christmas break. I know you can never know what's going on with the airlines or air travel. So if there is a delay, a cancellation, let me know, and we will accommodate the best way we can. If it's like an overtime delay, so like the next day you cannot get a flight on that day, and he is, I think I'd have to look at the Groom ages. There is a shuttle in Auburn called Groom Transportation, and that is available for you to use. So when you go on Groom, you would type in groomtransportation.com, you would select Auburn, and then they will drive them from Atlanta to Auburn, and then I will send someone to Auburn to go and pick them up. I have a lot of kids here that use that shuttle service. I even have a kid that he would prefer, because our flyers always leave the day after the holiday starts. So if the holiday starts on a Friday, the boys will leave on a Saturday. If the holiday starts on a Thursday, flying boys will leave on a Friday. So it's kind of stuff like that. And I have a boy that would prefer to leave the day school actually gets out, and he takes Groom and goes and flies home. But Groom is just a little bit closer than sending someone 2 hours away to go to the airport. But for the major leaves, we will go pick up. Right now, I typically have 2 shuttles a day. I'll have one in the morning and one in the afternoon for pickup, and then for departures, I typically have one that leaves at like 9 a.m. and then one that leaves at 11 a.m. But once again, I base all of that off of flight times. I try to not have them sitting at the airport for too long. And just a word of advice, don't schedule a flight for like 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. because unfortunately they will sit there, because typically we just drop them off unless they're an unaccompanied minor. If they are an unaccompanied minor, I actually go in and sit with them and take them, and that is an option. I have a lot of kids that have flown unaccompanied, and their parents have just asked me to take them and show them how the airport works the first time, and then they're like, hey, they're good for the second time. Southwest is good about no unaccompanied minor fees. Delta I think their fee is $150. So if you want them to fly unaccompanied minor, just let me know, and I can get you my information or the shuttle driver's information. Typically, I am the one that always takes unaccompanied minors. And either I will drive the whole shuttle or I'll drive them individually. I know the last time I had to pick up an unaccompanied minor, I just drove the whole entire shuttle, and they love riding with me. I make them listen to Frozen. So, but yeah, if you have any questions about airport transportation, because I know there's not a lot of you probably that fly or need that service, you can call me or email me and we can talk more about that individually, and I can kind of explain to you and ease your mind any concerns you may have with that. But I just want to let you know that we do shuttle to the airport for major leaves. And the price, we do have a charge. Anytime we take a kid or pick up, there's a $40 charge. So if we take him to the airport, it's $40. If we pick him up, it's $40 more. But Groom Transportation, they also charge, and it's around $50. So we give a $10 discount from Groom. For cadet health, our nurse is Miss Michelle Long, and she is in charge of all the cadets' health. So she does sick call every morning, gives out meds, and takes them to doctor's appointments, and all of that. So if your cadet ever has a doctor's appointment and you need to come and get him, you would email me and the nurse to let me know, hey, I'm coming to get him, he has an appointment. If he needs to get a last-minute appointment scheduled in the area, you can schedule it in Auburn, Opelika, or Dadeville, and then coordinate that with her, and we will have someone take him to his appointment. If something comes up with the appointment, or something happens and we have to take him to the doctor, you will always be notified, hey, we're taking him to the doctor, and then we'll stay in touch with what's going on, what the next plan is, this, that, and the other. She is very good, and I'm very good about keeping all appointments on track. I load them onto the school calendar and make sure all the right people know. I tag the dean in them, their TAC officer, all the guys in the military department, the nurse, myself. That way we don't miss anything, and we make sure they get to their appointments. She does do medications. So if your cadet takes medications and they need refills specifically, you can either refill them at home and mail them to school, but make sure if you mail them, you put them at the nurse's attention. That way she gets them, and it doesn't go to the cadet for him to open, oh, look, my meds. But just mail them to the nurse's attention, but she can also go and get them refilled if she has the script, and we typically go up to Dadeville to Lakeshore Pharmacy, and she will have your meds refilled, but you can also coordinate that with her. And I know she does a good job about letting parents know, hey, his meds are getting low, they need a refill. And she will, on open weekends, she'll typically stick a little note in the baggie, meds are low, need refilling. But you can bring them with you. If you live close, you're more than welcome to swing by and drop them off. But other than that, if they need refilling, let her know. And then virtual appointments, I have a lot of kids that do virtual appointments, whether this be with a therapist or a doctor for medication refill. We do have the ability to get them on a virtual appointment. I actually have an iPad in my office that is specifically designated to those types of appointments. And so if your cadet does talk to a therapist or there is a doctor he has to talk to get a med refill, you just let me know and I will get him on the calendar and I'll make sure he's in my office to do his appointment. And if he's been in counseling before and he needs to go back and you want them to talk to his therapist from home want to talk to his therapist at home, just let me know and I can get you some times that would work best for us and we can get him something scheduled. That way he's not missing out on anything. Okay, so communication, you're going to have a little bit more communication with your cadet now. They will get phone privileges. They do not have the option to scroll on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter all day long, but they will get their phone every single day. And this is all subject to change at the discretion of the commandant and whether or not they stay in good standing. So if they do something to lose their phone privileges, the TACs do a good job about notifying you, hey, he's not going to have phone privileges for a little while. and they are allowed, if they don't have a phone or they are in trouble and have lost phone privileges, they are always welcome to go and ask the TAC to use the TAC phone, or they could break out the classic pen and paper and write you a little note and let you know what's going on. But the phone times are up there. They're typically the same Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 9:15, Friday, 6 p.m. to 9:15, Saturday, 1 p.m. to 9:15, and then back on Sunday, 8:30 to 9:15. And like I said, these are the scheduled times, but they are subject to change. And if it's a core-wide phone, they lost their phone privileges, I try and let you know, hey, we were implementing this for this many days. You're probably not going to get a call at night. But as I said, they are more than welcome to use the TAC phone. So them not calling you because they don't have a phone, that is an excuse. They have the ability to use the TAC phones. For mailing, so some of the boys like to create like a pantry or a Walmart or something, or mail room. I have it all. This is the address, and it's that if you are mailing a package, use specifically through UPS or FedEx, use the 174 Ward Circle. I'm sorry, I'm trying to say world. And then if you are mailing a letter, card, use the P.O. box. And when you are mailing packages, please try and limit those, because like I said, we can get quite a few built up down in the office. If you go down there right now, it kind of looks like we've moved the Camp Hill post office to right down in the military department. And I know they like their stuff, so you can send them stuff, just kind of limit how many packages you're sending a week. And there are some things that can't be included in that. No sunflower seeds, no gum, no playing cards, and then no pre-workout. We're not allowing pre-workout, stuff like that anymore, so don't send it. If the cadets had it when they came, we've taken it all up. If your scrub had it when he came, just let us know and we'll get it for you and send it home with you. But we're just not going to allow the pre-workout stuff anymore. Debit cards. So a lot of you gave me a debit card the day you checked in. And then if you didn't give me one, I know we talked and you were either going to bring it or mail it. So what the debit cards are used for, travel money. So when they fly, I attach their debit card to their packet, and they have their debit card to buy food in the airport. If they're going on leave with someone else for an open weekend and they need their debit card, I can give it to them then. That way, the other person's parents is not paying for everything and they have their own way to use it. School field trips. So if they go on a school field trip and it requires a little bit amount of money, they are given their debit card to use. We put them all in a little baggie, and the adult on the field trip holds on to that baggie for them. Weekend passes, like I said, if they go on leave for the weekend, they can get their debit card. They'll get that from me when they check out. Doctor visits. So we always take the debit cards to the doctor's appointments, because co-pays, whatever, and we'll call you if we're taking them to the doctor. That way we can make sure that there's money on the card to pay for the visit, and it just cuts down on us trying to charge you, and it just gives us the ability to directly charge the card and not worry about it again. Canteen purchases. And so like I said, I'm over the canteen, or as the boys say, the lady that does the canteen. And the canteen is the snack shop on campus. It's open every weekend. And then if the boys are being good, I'll open it up on a Wednesday night for them too. In the canteen, we have milkshakes, frozen pizzas, Hot Pockets, candy, soda. I mean, it's certainly a junk food paradise if you ask me, but I am trying to get some different options in there. And if they're off the below 70 list or they don't have any quad hours, they are allowed to go in the canteen and purchase stuff. And it's also used for Booster Club purchases, which Miss Morgan does. But one thing about the debit cards, they don't just have their debit cards in their pants pocket or in their locker. I have their debit cards in a binder organized by last name, and it stays locked in my office. And so they don't have their hands on their debit cards. The only time they have their hands on them is if they take them for an open weekend or if they are flying and I give it to them in the airport. So for Canteen and Booster Club, we have all of their names loaded into a system called Square. And as I've been loading all of the scrubs into Square, you've probably gotten an email saying, hey, so-and-so has been added to Square system. That's me. It's me adding him to our system, so when he goes and makes a purchase, he can just go up to the counter. He can say, hey, my name's Dallas Smith, and they'll count his items and charge him for the items that way. And it just cuts down on them having their debit cards and them going on Amazon and buying 5 boxes of food. And you have to monitor what's on there. We can't see the bank account. So if you know he's going to be here and using the canteen, just make sure there's enough money on there for purchases, because if it declines, obviously he has to put all of his stuff back. I can tell you right now, they probably spend around $8.50 a day in there, but it's not open every single day. So roughly around $18 a weekend, I would say. And they're loading up on the sodas. I try and tell them, they'll come to me, hey, can I buy this whole box of Reese cups? I say, absolutely not. You can buy one. He said, well, what if I just keep coming back and keep buying one? I say, I'm going to eventually not sell you one, so just don't even try. Okay, Parents Web and Facts. That's where you can see like grades and stuff like that. And that is our district code, LYM-AL, and I think it's the first box that pops up that you'll need to enter that, and then you'll do your login information, username, password. And then if you have any problems with that login information, you can contact Miss Jennifer, and she'll help you get logged back in to your fax account and make sure you can see his grades and stuff like that. So if you haven't logged in, or you have logged in and now you can't remember your password, or you're having trouble logging in the first place, just get with her and she will help you get that squared away. And charges, this is just the different types of charges we have. So if we have to do a urinalysis screening, that's $15. Transportation to a doctor's appointment in Dadeville, or and this includes like day trips to the ER. So if something happens in the middle of the day and we have to take them to the ER, that is $20. Transportation to Opelika or Auburn doctor's appointments, that is $35. Medication pickup is $15. After hours, East Alabama Medical Center visit, which is the mental health hospital. So if for some reason they have to be taken there and it is after hours, not in the 9 to 5 hour, that is a $50 charge. And then after hours ER visit, obviously not in the 9 to 5 hour, that would also be $50. And then we mentioned the Atlanta airport, $40 charge anytime our bus is picking up a kid at the airport. So if we drop him off, $50, we pick him back up, $40, not $50. And then unaccompanied minor, we do associate a $75 charge with that, just because it does take our staff out of office and we're sitting at the airport all day. And that's why I recommend Southwest if you're going to do unaccompanied minor, because they do not have a charge. Southwest doesn't. Or if they do, it's not $150 like Delta does. And then lastly, if you haven't already, please join our Southern Prep Family Support Facebook page. Anything I put out in email, I also put out on this page. Sometimes it's a little easier for me to get it out on Facebook first, and I know some of you don't email or don't do Facebook or social media, so I always try and follow that up with an email. But the way we email, I have to go through a system so I can make sure it gets out to everyone, and so I always put everything twice, multiple times on Facebook and email. So everything I email out, and then it's also a good place to receive support from other families that have cadets here, and just get general knowledge of what's going on. So if you haven't already, join that page. We do only allow immediate family and those 21 and over. Well, immediate family 21 and over. But if there is an exception that needs to be made or a special request, you can also contact Miss Jennifer, and she will acknowledge that special request and see if we can get them added to that page too. When you go to join the page, there's a series of questions it's going to ask you. It'll be like, who's your cadet here? How do you know this cadet? Please answer those questions and don't leave it blank. That way we can know that you're legit and we know that we can accept you into that page. So when you go to join, please answer the questions it asks when you request to join. And that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions? I have the Dean and Miss Jennifer here that can help answer. Major Mayer's in the back. I've got Major Wearsma in the back. So if anyone has any questions. Oh, yeah, I'll email you the slides. And then I do believe we're going to be uploading this somewhere. And then I can email out the link to this session as well. That way you'll have it. So when you drop them back off from an open weekend, they'll be dropped off back in the military department where you pick them up. And the debit card will be given to one of the guys that are standing there. Sometimes I'm here and I'll take them, but if I'm not here, you just give it to the guys and they'll sit it on my desk for me to file back the next morning and lock up. And then my office is locked, so like they're not just sitting out there for anyone, but that's just the easiest way to do it and make sure they get their cards back in the file. Medications are done the same way, so they'll drop their meds off back to the nurse, and they'll put them in a box and get them to the nurse. And so check out and check in all takes place down in the military department unless it's otherwise stated. Anyone else? Yes, sir. I have a lot of parents that use Greenlight. I think it's, if I'm remembering correctly, Greenlight is like, it's kind of like a Venmo, but it's designed specifically for kids. And you would link your bank account to it, and you put the limit on there. Like they just don't have access to go swiping your card through and it pull out of your bank account. You would transfer like $100 from your bank account to their Greenlight card. And it works like that. And parents have also complimented it because they can set limits on it even when they're at home. And they're able to like monitor it and just transfer money easily. So I have a lot that use Greenlight. Anybody else? Okay. And oh my gosh, I ran 4 minutes over, so we're going to go right into the graduation ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. You may now be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Cadet Luke Kittrell, and I will serve as narrator for today's ceremony. On behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Norrell, the staff and faculty, and the Corps of Cadets, welcome to today's scrub graduation. This time-honored tradition marks the passing of a scrub into a full cadet and acceptance into the Corps of Cadets. It comes with every scrub required to undergo a 21-day... It requires every scrub to go through a 21-day training period where they are taught everything from how to make a bed Southern prep style to proficiency in drill and learning academy history, to name just a few of the requirements. Lastly, they must pass the scrub test. Today's graduation will be conducted in two groups. Performing the ceremony is Cadet First Captain Stuart Hauer. Scrubs Dorsis Daniel, Frith Ashton, Lane Gavin, who could not be here today, Stuart Davis, Hess Cole, Hunter Julian, and Millward Jackson.
Repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear, as a student at Southern Preparatory Academy, I will not lie, cheat, or steal, nor will I tolerate those who do. I swear to uphold the standard, never succumb to transgressions, or the misdeeds of my peers. I have sworn to uphold the honor code and now find you to be a cadet in good standing at Southern Preparatory Academy. I rise and be recognized by the Corps. With that, I present to you the new cadets. Cadets, rise.
Parents, if you'd like to come up and pin your cadet now, you're welcome to do so. Parents, once you're done pinning your cadet, you can return to your seats. Scrubs Nichols, Fox. Parrish, J.V. Black, Tucker. Jackson, Marquise. Jimenez, Manuel. Thacker, Jeremiah.
Having completed the required scrub training program, you will now take a knee and repeat after me the honor code of this great academy with your devotion to our core, complete the final step of rising from scrub to cadet. Scrub kneel. Repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear as a student at Southern Preparatory Academy, I will not lie, cheat, or steal, nor will I tolerate those who do. I swear to uphold the standard, never succumb to transgressions or the misdeeds of my peers. Having sworn to uphold the honor code, I now find you to be a cadet in good standing at Southern Preparatory Academy, and rise and be recognized by the court. Battalion, I present to you your new cadets. Cadets, rise.
Once again, parents, if you have a cadet being pinned, you can come up and do so now. Parents, once you're finished, you can return to your seats. The Commandant of the Academy, Major Mayor, will be providing the ceremony's closing remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to have you all here. Okay, we're good. Give one more hand. Yeah, it's great to see parents here and friends because your support means so much to the success of these young men. But one thing I'd like to correct them, and please listen. That code that you just took your notes to is the most important thing you'll ever do. It creates you to become men of character. And that's what we want to graduate from Southern Prep Academy. What your parents are paying for, that's why you're here. Okay? You will lie, you will cheat, you will steal, and you won't allow those who do. If you can live under that code, not only as you progress as a cadet here at the Academy, but throughout life, you'll be a very, very wealthy young man. And you'll get to be a wealthy old man, meaning you are a true man of character. And that's what it's all about. We're proud to have you in the Corps. One day will be a different day for you. Much more, not as stressful as the last 21 days. I guarantee it. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Have your mom and dad take you to get a good steak dinner or something for your birthday. Okay? And again, we're very happy to see you all here. You've entrusted us with your son, and for that, we thank you. And I think you're going to see a very positive change in what you dropped off 21 days ago. So again, thank you very much, and have a very safe weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. If you're checking out your cadet, you can do so in Ms. Dallas's office, which is located in the military department.